So I've been, lecturing for years across the country on metabolic cardiology and nutritional aspects of illness. But over the last 7 years, 8 years, I started to gravitate towards energy medicine. I met Clint Ober 10 years ago. I met him at a conference here in California, in San Diego. And he was talking to me about energy. And as a cardiologist, the heart's all about energy. And the heart's an electrical organ, just like the brain. The brain's very electrical, but the heart's the most electrical organ in the body. And Clint had this incredible insight about using the earth as a way of healing the body. And I said to him, look, all you got to do is show that earthing reduces inflammation, and you can sink your teeth into it, because inflammation is the root cause of coronary disease, cancer, thyroid disease, neurodegenerative disease, diabetes, you name it. Inflammation is the root cause of disease. So Clint then took the reins, and he was like a salmon swimming upstream. I mean, it was rough. He went to a lot of scientists and a lot of MDs, and they didn't get it. Unfortunately, after 10 years and millions of dollars of research, a lot of the conventional medical doctors still don't get it, But the truth is that if you use the energy of the earth, the energy of the earth, it's less than a milligauss. It's about 0.5 milligauss. And basically, what the energy of the earth is, it's really simple. The earth is struck by lightning thousands of times per minute, especially around the equator. When the lightning strikes the earth, or when there's solar flares from the atmosphere, billions and trillions of electrons get infiltrated into the earth. Now, the electrons have a negative charge. Now, our bodies, because they're so toxic, living in 2010, our bodies are a sea of chemicals, and we're a sea of electric charge, and it's a positive electric charge from what we call free radical oxidative stress. So our bodies are starving for electrons, literally starving. Now, a lot of us get electrons. We take antioxidants. We take CoQ10, we take zinc, we take beta-carotene, lutein. I mean, the list goes on and on. They're powerful antioxidants, but you would need handfuls of antioxidants to sequester free radicals living in the day we live in. Let me give you an example. I was born in 1946. There were maybe 50 million cars in 1946. There was none of the sea of chemicals that we have today. There was certainly no EMF or RF. And the autism rate back in 1946 was 1 in 25,000. Around 1970, it increased to 1 in 10,000, maybe more because of a more polluted environment. Around 1980, with the advent of computers and the advent of cell phones, autism was now 1 in like 2,000, 1,500. Today, with billions of cell phones on the planet, and cordless phones, and Bluetooth monitors, and baby monitors, and you name it, now in a male, it's 1 in 67. I mean, our society it's killing itself. I mean, we're almost like the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire failed, and for you historians out there, you know this, where they drank a lot of wine, they drank in lead goblets, and the wine would oxidize with the lead, and basically they were drinking a lot of lead, and the Senate became demented. They developed Alzheimer's disease. So the Roman Empire, from outside wars, internal strife, and a Senate that couldn't do anything, almost like our Congress today, Basically, they couldn't do anything, the empire fell. And we're headed for the same thing. I was up in Canada. I did a section on there, 60 Minutes, of the American, counterpart. And in Canada, there's a big movement by consumers of trying to get Wi-Fi out of schools. In our country, everybody wants Wi-Fi. It was just on the news today. Starbucks has Wi-Fi. I won't fly in an airplane if they have Wi-Fi. Why? Because that Wi-Fi is pulsating energy, pulsating. Just like this energy, which is, and I hope I can get through the talk without, having disturbed heart rate variability, but just with this, So the point I want you to get here is that something is happening in the world today. And there's other societies, like the Soviet Union won't allow a child to have a cell phone from 5 to 18, outlawed. Finland, the same thing. Denmark, the same thing. Spain, Greece, Japan, they're trying to get Wi-Fi out. Our country is doing nothing. We are doing absolutely nothing. The telecommunications industry spends billions of dollars a month in marketing and lobbying. You can't even sue anybody with a cell phone tower. They put cell phone towers in schools because they pay the school money to have a cell phone tower there. But then there's hope on the horizon, and the hope is grounding. When my son was sick, he said, "Dad, the thing that brings me back, that gets my energy, is when he walks barefoot." He walked barefoot so many times, he stepped on nails, he stepped on a bee. I mean, he was walking barefoot all the time. When we were in Maryland at a horse farm, I got us a room in the Holiday Inn because it was raining. He slept on the grass in the tent, next to the stallion barn, And that's what he wanted to do. He says, "I feel so much better when I ground." And what grounding does, it puts out the fire. It douses the fires of inflammation. When I was practicing cardiologist and my patients would travel to Florida when I was practicing in Connecticut, they would come back after a vacation, they say, "I feel so much better." And I thought it was the sun, and I thought it was the water, and I thought it was the reduction of stress. But if you really look at it, it was the ground. When you walk barefoot on the sand, or you walk barefoot on the grass, or on concrete, asphalt doesn't count. On tile's okay. Or if you sleep grounded, or if you use a pad, or if you drive grounded, oh my gosh, a lot of things happen. And we did the science. I didn't do all the science. I participated in 2 studies. And I'm absolutely amazed. I'm just absolutely blown away of what Clint Ober has just brought to my attention. And my job is to bring it to your attention and also to the medical establishment. There are a bunch of papers right now that have been accepted for publication on this. A lot of them pertain to the cardiovascular system, and I'm going to go over that tonight. And basically, I'll show a few slides, and hopefully you'll take the message home that we got a problem here, but we have a solution, and we got to share the solution with everybody. Just got to share it. And I have to tell you, it's got to start somewhere, And the way to start is everybody's got to get grounded. If you want to read a book, read it in your backyard. Put your feet on the ground. If you want a sun, just put your feet on the ground. Think about that at all times.